Yes, welcome to the Vanguard Show. This is your host, Malik Ishmael. Today is September 28th, 2025, and I have a very special guest coming on the program today. His name is William Ricker, and he's the author of the book, The Reshift Pulsars Saga Origins, his debut, his first science fiction novel called as his inspiration and is driven by Marvel slash DC Comics. His favorite slogan from the book is Pulse, Shift, Revolt Your Life. And this young man was born and raised in Tampa, Florida. He's a passionate writer who graduated from the University of South Florida, Go Bulls, with a bachelor's of science in business management. And I definitely got a shout out, meeting him for the first time in at the Tampa Bay Black Authors Expo. So again, looking forward to him coming on the program. And let me see if he's in the building. Hey, William, how you doing?
I'm doing good, and yourself?
Oh, doing fantastic, man. Let me see if I get. Okay, it's a little better right there.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Again, I want to thank you for coming on the Vanguard Show. And again, it was so impressive to meet you in person. You and I had been, in contact prior to the Tampa Bay Black Authors Expo, and it was definitely an honor to meet you, man.
Thank you, and likewise.
Absolutely. And I want to get a shout out to Tampa Bay Black Authors Expo with Jeffrey White, Tanisha Mitchell, who are part of the organizing of the Tampa Bay Black Authors Expo, and make sure you go to their website. And also give a shout out to the day ones that were there during the first one, Tyler Calhoun and Natalie Kennedy. And I also want to shout out to Williams' colleague, Jeanette Foster Williams. She has a book called Overcoming Abuse. So definitely check her out. And again, Brother William, it was an honor to meet you. And I was thoroughly impressed with you and your journey. How did you find out first about the Tampa Black Authors Expo, and then talk about how you became a writer?
Sure thing. I actually attended the Tampa Bay Black Authors Expo last year in 2024, and it was my first time going to the event. They actually had a news segment on the Channel 8 News speaking about the event. And so I looked it up and I thought, hey, let me just attend to see to get advice from well um, published authors. So I was able to go there, speak to some of the original ones that you mentioned, like Jeanette and Tanisha, and was able to speak with them as far as how was they able to get to the point of success, how was the writing process, what was the cause, what was like things that I could incorporate into my writing. So I was able to get a lot of advice from last year's event. And then during that time, I was already midway writing my book, as you see right here. And yeah, I was starting writing it, and I was able to get it published this year in April. Yeah.
Okay. I show the people the book. It is incredible. And again, brother, so proud of what you've done. I'm about halfway through. It's quite a page turner, and it's quite a few pages.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, it's definitely once you get to the end of it, there's a lot more twists and turns once you get to the end of it.
Okay, all right. It sounds like one day it may become a movie. Maybe you think?
Possibly. I definitely hope so.
Okay, okay, all right. Now, brother William, tell us about your upbringing, your academic achievements, and why you pursued writing as a focus.
Sure thing. Well, I am born and raised in Tampa, Florida. I've been here all my life. I went to school, went to East Bay High School, graduated in 2012, and then I started in ACC Community College first and studied business administration. So I started right off after high school, and then went to ACC and graduated in 2015, and then I went to USF, which I really wanted to go there since I was in middle school. I told my parents, hey, I really want to go to USF, so let me go to USF. So I was able to attend there and graduated in 2018 with my bachelor's degree in business management with a concentration of creative writing. And I've been starting writing since I was 10 years old. And I started writing poetry when I was 13 years old. My inspiration with that was my mom, my adopted mother. She used to love writing poems, and I got to read some of her poems over the years, and that inspired me to write poetry. And then with writing, I just love the science fiction TV series and movies, Marvel and DC, and just those cartoons that I used to watch, like on Nickelodeon and Disney Channel, and all of that.
Okay, all right on, man. Well, you do a great job, and especially with all your achievements. What has been the response to your book, and what was your motivation to initially create it?
The The response for my book, you mean like after I publish it or before?
Well, just what has been the public's response to people
Yeah.
that get your book and learn about your book to get it? So, what has been some of your feedback?
Okay. Yes, when I published my book, and I've been getting a lot of good feedback from my work colleagues, and even had some Amazon reviews of how descriptive the writing is, and when you travel to these different places like Georgia, Africa, and the other places and settings that I incorporate into this book. Um, Also, I've been promoting and getting myself out there by letting people know about my book, and it's been a tedious and fun process at the same time when I started in January of this year with social media and just getting myself out there, going to these events, uh, and meeting local authors and entrepreneurs and let people know about my book, and it's been a great response so far. So I'm excited what's to come after that as well.
Oh man, fantastic! And tell my viewers, what is the book about, and what was your well, first of all, what was your book about, and also what will be the follow up, because it's a quite extensive book. It looks like it's going to be a chapters type thing.
Y- Yes. So this book, and I'll give you much detail about it. This book is actually just a section of book one where I had to cut it short. So there will be a cliffhanger when you get to the final chapter. But the first book is actually massive, where it's going to be split into three books. But it's going to be more than three books in the series. So instead of a trilogy, it's going to be more like the Game of Thrones, Harry Potter type series. So it's never going to be a continuation after you read the final chapter. And the story is about my personal heritage growing up. I actually found like research through ancestry DNA, and I was able to find like Benin. Cameroon, and a lot of African places where I am originally from. And not only this is part of my story, but also I wanted to incorporate in a science fiction way after being adopted at a young age and was incorporating that into some of these characters in the story as well. I wanted to build off of that, and it's a massive sci-fi story where all these characters travel to different continents, teleportation, there's ancient relics, even some black historical figures, and uh, even black communities and black even how can I say it? Black historical figures and even these black communities that also involved into the in the story as well. So there's a lot of elements of fiction and nonfiction in my story, and also it's a story about dreaming big. It really does.
Right on, man. That's fantastic, brother. And first of all, I have to ask about the cover design,
Yes.
which I found amazing. And did you work with anyone in particular on this project? But it is a fantastic cover. Yes, I need
Yes.
to. Yes, talk about that.
Yes, so I actually have a family friend that has went to school for graphic design, and he's also a school teacher. He actually lives in near Orlando, and spoke with him about it as far, hey, are you able to create my book cover, my book logo, as you see on the spine of it right here, and then
Yes.
even he also created um, the front cover concept with the towers because I wanted the three towers with the pulse electricity coming out of them. And he gave me a few options of the font choices for the title and my name. And then even at the back of the book, he even incorporated my book synopsis as well, making sure everything fit perfectly in the book as well. And he's also going to be helping me with future projects, which I'll later discuss about that as well.
Okay. Well, I got to ask about your friend Jeanette Foster Williams. When did you
Yes.
first meet her? And I've seen you guys collaborate on a lot of stuff. Talk about that friendship and also author support that you give one another.
Yes. I actually met her last year at the Tampa Bay Black Authors Expo. And we got to chatting, and she told me about her first book, and of course I was intrigued of her life story. And then fast forward as we communicate since last year, I said, "Hey Jeanette, how about I be able to not only promote your book, but also other local." Self-published authors, not just only in Florida. I also interview an author in Texas, and just supporting our Black brothers and sisters and getting ourselves out there. So we actually had a Facebook live interview under her page, and I wanted to let her share her story, let my followers and her followers see the communication together. I asked her questions, and she asked me questions after that. So we was able to do that, and of course I usually just ask just simple questions, go with the flow, and it's just a fun engaging way that everybody can get to know each other and what we do behind the scenes.
Oh, that's awesome, brother. I definitely see that connection. And also, I was going to ask the any future plans. I think said you're going to be having a certain chapters and sections of your the next book.
Yes. Currently, I'm already midway through my second book, as this is part of this book, and so I just have to put like the finer details and other twists and turns into it, and then after that, then what? what I'm also doing currently is creating a comic book series based on the first book to get our young generation to start reading, see the comic book strip in vivid, colorful pages, and that way is even though it's like a textbook and it might be intimidating, I want to create something that's more condensed, short, straight to the point, and be able for them to get excited for reading. And then even put like my chapter X's after the comic book strips, and then that way they can follow along through the story through the story as well.
Okay, all right. And I was going to say, you took a picture at an event with one of my favorite actors, Keith David. Talk about some of that interaction, meeting people like this, and all the events that you do. You definitely show us a picture if you have it.
Yes, I do. So yes, I actually got a chance to
All right.
meet Kate David in person, and it was a fun experience. It was at the Tampa Bay Comic Con convention this year. It happened in August. They have one called MentorCon the week prior to that, so I was able to wear my costume for the first time and got to meet. Interesting people like comic book artists, local artists, and even artists that were out of town. And there were a lot of vendors and a lot of people dressed up into different characters. So I was able to buy my ticket for both events, and but had to buy a full tickets in order to meet Keith David. So it was a short introduction of me and Keith David. I had to. I had my book in my hand, and I had my pen, flashlight keychain, my bookmark, and then even my business card all in one, clipped to my pen as well. So I had to get everything together.
Okay. Yes.
So I had all that ready. I know I had to be short and quick. So I shook my hand to him. I said, "Hey," and he said, "Hey." I said, "I want to give this to you. I actually wrote my first book." He actually smiled and actually got a chance to look at it. And then he gave me a big hug. We took the photo. He shook my hand again. He said, "Thank you." And then I got my photo of Keith David right after that. Yep.
That is awesome.
And
Man. One of the classic actors, and also I want to ask about the costume. Tell me what went into creating that because it was quite interesting,
yep.
quite detailed.
So
Yes.
so
Talk about
what
how that came together. Mhm.
so when I started looking for like freelancers in order to like help me with editing with my book, illustrations for my book, and even creating a cosplay costume. Now I never wrote. I never got a chance to actually wear a costume in my life. That's why I mentioned that. Hey, this was my first time actually going to the Comic Con events this year. So I actually met this amazing young lady on Upwork. I actually had to make like a post saying, "Hey, I'm looking for someone to create my costume for an hourly or fixed price rate." And of course, through my selection, I found her. She actually responded through my post. This was actually around like the end of December, and not the end of December, but the end of 2024. And we got to communicate, and I choose her as my candidate. She went to an HBCU. She also actually went to school for costume design as well. So we communicated, and also since we never met in person, we had to go through
Okay.
Zoom meetings We had to communicate through Upwork, even through email as well. I had to get my measurements to a store in Tampa and get a seamstress to measure every piece of my body to make sure all the measurements were all good, and it was just an effective communication that we had, and it was an enjoyable experience. And she got all my pieces together, and she was able to create my costume and send it to me before my Comic-Con events.
Wow, incredible,
Yeah.
because it fits perfectly. And man, I
Yes.
could honestly see you in the movie with that. Have you ever thought about eventually this new character in paradigm in the Marvel world? It needs something like this. Have you thought that it could get to that level?
Yeah, yes, I have. I watched like pretty much almost the entire Marvel movie series, and not the recent ones here lately, but I pretty much have watched most of them, and it has inspired me with my writing and with the costume that I just thought of off the top of my head. I actually had to think of how the costumes would come into play and how they look like, how it'd be futuristic, but also modern at the same time, and gives
Yeah.
that futuristic look here and there. So every piece that you seen through my costume, when you saw it in person, and even with these characters, is it was all in my mind as far as how can I create something um, amazing, but and also fun for everyone to read.
Oh, fantastic, man. You're doing a great job with that as well. Do you have anyone that has inspired you on your journey? Whether it's family support, someone you looked up to for inspiration. Do you have any kind of hero or support system that you want to definitely acknowledge?
Well, I definitely want to give a shout out to my adopted parents because they have definitely influenced me of the man of who I am today. Even though they are not here and they're in spirit and they're watching down on me, they were the intricate parts of my of creating this masterpiece, and this is also a dedication to them. I told my mom and dad that, hey, when I actually publish this book, I'm gonna put a dedication for you guys, including my biological parents as well, that has shaped my world tremendously. So this book is for them. And then as far as heroes, of course, Black Panther, Chadwick Boseman. He was one of those first actors that I saw on in the movies, and even saw Black Panther. It was one of the greatest movies that I saw of all time, and it definitely gave us a gateway and an opportunity to get to where we are today. And also, some of my work colleagues, they were also part of this journey as well. Of course, you met my friend James at my book signing over a week ago. But yeah, some of my work colleagues are also played a part of it, and they are also part of this story too. They wanted to uh, show their character of how they want to look like, how can they represent themselves through the page, and they had every part of the process of what they wanted people to see about them.
Oh man, beautifully said, brother. I definitely wanted to ask you, what would you tell a young creative like yourself, younger even, what advice would you give to them to follow their dreams, follow their interests, and even creating what I think is a masterpiece with your book? What advice would you give to young creatives?
First is to create an idea, even if it's just a simple idea. Just start that off, and then once you start off with it, take take your time with it. And even be patient through the process as well. Because even with my journey, this started actually over 10 years ago when I was in high school, and then of course after writer's block and even writing it and then getting back to it and then not getting back to it, then once I started writing it last year around like in July, then the momentum kept on going after going through research and even going through the writing process. I tell anybody, just take your time with it. Be kind to yourself. Don't rush it. Um, if you want to write like once a day, like a few sentences here and there, then go ahead and start with that, and then the momentum will keep on going over time. And then once you're able to do that, then you'll be able to finish writing your book, and then any research that you need to find on how to publish a book. There's so many resources like how I did it. You'll be able to find them through there.
Okay, right on, man. And you're going to be having a upcoming appearance. Tell people about that, where they can check you out, and some of your upcoming events and projects that you are planning.
Yes. The next event that I'm going to be having will be the Global Lit Fest. It actually runs by Stephanie Olton, and I actually someone recommended me to reach out to her, and I actually did and say, hey, I'm interested being a part of the Global Lit Fest. We actually had a live interview on probably like over a month or two ago, as she's having these 10 to 15 minute discussions with the authors that's actually going to be a part of the virtual event. So it's a free event. It's going to be on October 18th. I believe it'll be from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And anybody can come, friends, family, you name it. And we'll definitely be having interviews and getting people to know who we are. So I'm
Mhm.
excited to be a part of that one. And the next one after that would be on October 25th. And this would be the second time that I'm going to be having my book signing at Central Station Barbershop in St. Pete. I actually spoke with the owner, Antonio Brown, and I actually did my own research online to find a a black-owned barbershop, and he was one of the first on the list. And so I was able to have my first book signed with him in June, and I'm gonna be having it again in next month, and it's gonna be at the same location. And I want to say it would be, I want to say between like 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at his location. And the big event that I'm going to be having would be the Tampa Bay Urban Festival. It'll be the third or fourth time that they're going to be having this event, but their first time going to be having Comic Con, and I'm actually going to be one of the keynote speakers with a panel of men and women that's making a difference in the Tampa and some of Tampa and St. Pete communities. There's going to be technology for the kids to be interested, whether it's robotics, virtual reality. Even the Tampa Bay Black Artists Expo is going to be there as well, including Antonio Brown's Competitive Readers Coalition, which is an amazing nonprofit organization as well. So it's going to be big event that I'm going to be a part of and be wearing my costume as well. So I'll be wearing that for the contest, and that's going to be at the Enoch Davis Center on November 22nd from 12:30 p.m. to 4 p.m. and it's free for everyone. And as far as future projects, it, currently I'm working on my second book, and I'm also almost done with uh, my first comic book that I created. Is the Kindle version is actually going to be live on Amazon on September 30th, and then I'm gonna try to get the paperback and hardcover ready like within like the next month or two.
Oh man, fantastic. Man, I tell you, it's been great having you. And I do have a question. Say, away from writing, work, what are some of your hobbies? I'm just curious. Some of the hobbies that you have,
Yes.
that you love to
Well,
do.
Well, in my spare time, I love doing outdoor activities. I like going to theme parks like Busch Gardens, SeaWorld, Universal Studios. I enjoy bowling, skating, even though I'm not a great skater, but hey, I do my best and get myself out there. But yep, at least I don't fall. That's the one thing.
Okay.
Yes. Well, some spend time with family, even though they live in different states. Spend time with them. Even uh, go to the beach, go swimming. I'm just basically a laid back, chill type of guy, and enjoy movies and TV shows along the way. So yeah, that's what I do on my spare time whenever I'm not writing and going to work.
Okay. All right, fantastic. You mentioned Africa. I'm connected to Angola with the in Bundu, and 100% actually, I took a DNA test, and also I have links to Liberia, Sierra Leone,
Mhm.
where I matched with those 100% as well. That which was very interesting. Do you have any plans? Because I've traveled to Africa. I went to Ghana, Egypt, and South Africa. Do you have any future plans to travel to Africa, particularly some of the countries you're connected to?
Yes, I do. Since doing my research and by creating my book, by seeing how the traditions, the language, the food, clothing, and how everything it is as a whole, I definitely want to travel to Benin and Cameroon and see how everything is. I know it's kind of expensive to go over there, but definitely for certain, I would definitely want to go over there and see what Africa has about. And actually talking to my Kenyan illustrator and did her interview um, over a week ago, and she told me how Kenya is and how beautiful it is, and she told me that it's definitely worth a trip to definitely see all those places that I mentioned in my book, and of course, her homeland as well.
Oh, fantastic, brother. Well, definitely make sure you get over there, and it'll be going home for sure. Before
Yes.
we conclude, I'm new to Tampa, so you have any advice for me? I've been here about a year and a half, me and my wife. So, any advice as a native Tampa person?
Ah, as far as what, like going
Well,
to
just
places?
things to do, places to go. I know about this Gasparilla stuff. I'm new to all that.
Mm, okay. Usually, every year they have the Florida State Fair. If you ever like good food, colorful food, fair food, they have the Florida State Fair usually like in February, and then they have the that's usually like in Tampa, and it's usually like over like a week or two event. They have the Strawberry Festival right after that. And that's in Plant City. It's a lot smaller than the Florida State Fair, but they have great strawberry shortcake and strawberry smoothies. They even have entertainment over there. I actually got a chance to see Kurt Franklin in concert. So they have, depending on their entertainment lineup for the Florida State Fair and the Strawberry Festival, you could definitely check those events out. What else? You mentioned Gasparilla. They have the kids and the adult version. Um, and so if you like the whole pirate theme and even just seeing the parade and everything, it's definitely good to see for your first time. They have a night parade, which is pretty cool with all the different lights and everything. So they definitely have that. And if you're a sports fanatic, of course we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as they are going through their season right now. So if you're a football fan, whether it's college football, basketball, baseball, we have those sports teams as well that you get to see. And then yeah, they usually have like events going out throughout the year. So depending on what you like and your wife, it's definitely good to check all those activities out.
And it sounds great, brother. And as I would tell you, as a married man of 31 years, happy
Wow.
wife, happy life for sure.
Yes.
Now, yes, absolutely. How can people follow you on social media and contact you for business inquiries?
Yes. So I have various social media platforms. You can check me on Instagram on Ricker, RICKER. I have a Facebook page. I have a not only a personal page but also a professional page. My professional page, you could just look up the Reshift Pasta Saga on my professional page, and of course, Facebook. You can check Willam Ricker RSP on Facebook. On TikTok, you can check me out, and it's Ricker Real 92. And you could, if you ever need to contact me, my email is wricker32@hotmail.com or wricker92@hotmail.com.
Oh, fantastic, man. Well, it's been a pleasure having you, brother. And again, I'm so impressed with what you've done and what you're going to do. So I just would definitely tell you, keep it up, brother, and look forward to seeing you real soon.
Likewise,
All right, brother. You have a good day, man. You take care. Appreciate
you
it.
as well.
Yes, sir.